gonna discuss everything related to AI and whatever is happening in the AI landscape. We are gonna keep an eye on that. Let's see how long we are able to make this video for. But I think we should jump straight into action. There's a lot to cover that we need to see. So first up, I come across this one. It's like a collection of articles that have been summarized by Perplexity, and the title of it is that tech firms cutting jobs to fund AI, not because AI replaced workers. See, it's widely talked about that AI is replacing the workforce, but this article has a unique take. It tells us that the tech firms are cutting jobs to fund their AI ambitions. So it continues on to say that as Meta prepares to cut 8,000 jobs on 20th May, a growing chorus of industry voices is challenging the narrative that AI is simply making the workers redundant. Instead, they argue, now this is the point to focus on, guys, that companies are slashing headcount to pay for the staggering costs of AI infrastructure itself. And we know that the companies now they are spending like hundreds of billions of dollars each year on AI. Facebook is projected to spend like Meta is projected to spend like $145 billion this year. Microsoft is almost spending $200 billion on AI. So we need to basically look into it and then make a informed narrative that what actually is happening behind the scenes, or we need to make a correlation over here, guys, because we are being told that AI is replacing the workforce, and this basically guides us that this could not be the case. So the cost argument. Zoho co-founder Sridhar Vambu stoked the debate this week by sharing a post from the Meta engineer Arnav Gupta and titled "The layoff will continue till we learn to use AI." So then it says that Vambu argued that rising costs for servers and GPUs, not automation replacing workers, are the primary driver behind workforce reduction. As employee salaries represent one of the few expenses company can immediately control. This makes sense, guys. The salaries that the companies give, they can control this. This is something that they have in their hand to control. And whenever you are operating a business, cost control is pretty important. But we need to continue to understand this better. Firms are cutting staff to redirect capital towards AI chips and data centers. This AI is not cheap, guys. There's a whole layer of infrastructure behind this, starting from energy, data centers, cooling systems, and all that. So, the AI infrastructure that the companies get to run their models, etc., it's like pretty expensive. What they get from the hyperscalers, ultimately, the costs add up and they have to bring the money to put into that. And what this article tells us is that the cost saved from cutting jobs, that is driving this funding towards AI. So Wambu questioned whether massive AI spending is translating into real productivity gains, noting that whilst developers can write more code with AI tools, the measurable business impact remains unclear. Another thing that I have to mention is that all these big companies, including Anthropic, they are hiring people. OpenAI, Anthropic, they are hiring people. Now the thing is, if AI is that much capable, so why is it that the companies that are pushing the narrative that AI is gonna take away the jobs of the workforce, why are they hiring people? This is a question that we need to answer. So Gupta, who noted that he could be among those affected by Meta's forthcoming cut, framed the layoff as a combination of rising infrastructure costs, organizational restructuring, and investor pressure rather than AI directly replacing roles. AI will eventually, in my opinion, but it's not gonna be this soon, guys. So the numbers behind the shift. So it says that the scale of rebalancing is stark. Tech companies announced 81,747 layoffs in the first quarter of 2026. Oh my goodness. Check this out, guys. It says it's a 580% increase from the fourth quarter of 2025, according to the Kobise letter. I think this is a very well known social media channel as well, and also a newsletter. Yeah, so there's like a subscription model over here. While Meta has raised its 2026 capital expenditure to between 125 to 145 billion, during an April 30 town hall, CEO Mark Zuckerberg attributed the cuts to capital constraints rather than efficiencies gained from AI. Ah. Stating that as AI spending surges, the company must reduce its workforce to balance the budget. See, this is the bottom line, guys. As AI spending surges, the company must reduce its workforce to balance the budget. This necessarily doesn't mean that AI is capable enough to do the jobs that they are cutting off, but we need to keep this in mind, guys. Then it says an internal memo reportedly stated the layoffs would offset AI investments. This is exactly what we have been talking about before. A pattern across the industry. So now this article relates to what is happening across the industry. Meta is not alone. Oracle cut up to 30,000 jobs. Oh my goodness. We need to have a look at this, guys, in on the internet. In January, it was estimated that Oracle is shaving 20,000 to 30,000 employees to free up 8 to 10 billion in incremental free cash flow for data center projects. Oof, this is exactly what we just talked about, guys. Companies including Amazon, Microsoft, Coinbase, and Block have all trimmed workforce this year while simultaneously ramping up AI investments. So, guys, this is the benefit of keeping an eye out on the AI news and AI stuff. So, what it says over here is that AI funding is the primary driver behind companies cutting the jobs, companies laying off their workforce. It isn't necessarily that at this point AI is capable enough to do the jobs of those people, but the real reason is that the companies have to put money into AI data centers, and also they are taking a bet on that. And what I think is that it's gonna be more demanding for the remaining people in these companies, and they will be the ones who have to like do the work of 4 to 5 people. Now how successful they are in that, only time will tell. But let me know in the comments what you think of this. And this is pretty important for us to have an informed opinion. And I think this was good that we came across this. What else do we have? ByteDance raises AI infrastructure budget 25% to 29.4 billion. So ByteDance owns TikTok. So the parent company of TikTok has increased its planned AI infrastructure spending for 2026 by 25%. Now, you must think as that a company who is running a social media like TikTok, what does AI has to do in that? We are gonna understand about this. Now, I have said this in multiple videos that Grok is my learning partner. Whatever question that we have, we go to Grok. So we are gonna ask Grok about this. Okay, Grok, go ahead and explain to me in very simple terms that a company like ByteDance or TikTok, who's running a social media, like they are increasing their AI budget to into billions, like it's almost gonna touch 30 billion US dollars. So how big is this company on AI, and how does AI directly relate to their work for such huge amounts to be justified? So it's gonna give me an answer. We are gonna read through that. In the meantime, let us go back to the article. So bringing the total budget to over 20 billion yuan, which is 29.4 billion, up from a preliminary plan of on 60 billion yuan discussed last year. The revision reflects both companies' expanding AI ambitions and the memory impact of surging memory chip costs that have rippled across the global tech industry. So the chip costs are also rising. It's not cheap to produce these chips that power the AI infrastructure. Let's go to Grok, what it brought up for us. So it says that how big is this number? Let's talk about this. It's 29.4 billion just for AI related infrastructure, which includes servers, chips, and data centers in 1 year. For context, ByteDance is enormous. It makes roughly 150 plus billion in annual revenue, mostly from ads on TikTok and Douyin, plus e-commerce like TikTok Shop. It's valued at hundreds of billions. Recently, estimates around $500 billion valuation. Oof. Spending 30 billion on AI is like a very big company investing heavily on its core engine. Why does a social media video company need so much AI? This is what we need to understand. So, firstly, it says that the For You page recommendations is AI magic. TikTok's biggest strength is showing you videos you'll love in seconds, even if you don't search for them. AI watches what you watch, how long you watch, likes, skips, etc. Instantly learns your taste. So this essentially means that the For You page is being run by AI content creation tool. They have AI for video editing, effects, music suggestion, captions, and now full generative AI, turning text into videos with Cdance and Remania. This helps creator make better stuff faster. Okay. So their own AI product. ByteDance built Dobo, one of China's most popular AI chatbots, and they are expanding AI across apps and selling AI tools and services to other companies. We need to look into this, guys. Duobo, what is this, guys? It says over here Duobo is an artificial intelligence assistant developed by ByteDance. It was launched in 2023 and has become China's most popular AI chatbot. Oh my goodness, guys. This is something that I didn't know before. Let's go to its app page. We can download a desktop version as well. I hope like it's the official one, but I'm not gonna download this. But what is this? Duobo.com. Maybe that one is like a company that took the same similar domain and made something like this. But anyways, let's check this out. Hi, I am Dola. Let's ask this. What are you capable of? Let's see if it gives us an answer. It's fast, guys. It's fast. Information and learning, content creation and writing, problem solving, creative visual, help and chat. Can you make images? Let's ask this. Yes, I can create all kinds of images based on detailed description. Can you make YouTube thumbnails? Oh my goodness, guys, it's generating something. Interesting, guys. By the way, for my channels, I use ChatGPT to make the thumbnails. Like I had this one going on over here. So I'll take the description form over here and I'll go to the Dola chatbot over here and I'm gonna also give it my image. Let's see what it gives us. Use my image as a reference. and make me a thumbnail for the above. It says you can only send up to 6 chats per day. Okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open this up in an incognito tab. Let's see if we are able to chat with this over there. Now let me bring the description, and let me also bring my image over here. I'm like excited for this, guys. Let's see what China's top AI chatbot has to offer. Okay, let's see what it makes for us. I think it's gonna surprise us. I didn't know about this chatbot that is like most used in China, but I think we are in for quite a surprise. Guys, there's the moment of truth. No, not this, not this. How to never forget any task. So I think this one is not like pretty good, but anyways, it can make images. It can create AI images and stuff. You see, this is what people have already made with it. A girl with a pearl earring, Jonas Vermeer comic style inspired by Dutch Golden Age painting. Then this is felt art. And you see, this is the type of stuff that it is capable of making. And I think it's super interesting. Vincent van Gogh's self portrait, he's playing with his mobile phone. This was also made with this Dola. Guys, it seems like an interesting chatbot capable of image gen as well. So I found that quite interesting. I think we should go back to Grok. So thanks to Grok, we got to know that there's one famous AI chatbot in China, Duobo, and we tried it here on this live video, so it was super interesting. Now we need to continue. Why billions on infrastructure? AI doesn't run on magic, it needs giant data centers full of powerful chips like Nvidia or Chinese made ones. Then it also needs huge electricity and cooling, massive computing power to train models and serve millions of users in real time. All of this, guys, makes sense, and this is the actual cost of running these AI models. And in TikTok's case, ByteDance's case, 29.10 is mostly for buying and building the hardware, especially as the chip prices rise and China pushes for homegrown tech to reduce reliance on US chips. It's a capex building for the long term, not just yearly operating costs. Huh. So all of this does make sense. So now coming back to perplexity. So it says that rising costs drive budget overhaul. The budget increase comes as memory chips have prices have skyrocketed industry wide. DRAM contract prices rising roughly 95% quarter over quarter in Q1 2026. What is DRAM, guys? Dynamic random access memory is a type of random access semiconductor memory that stores each bit of data in a memory cell. Okay. Microsoft attributed 25 billion of its record 190 billion capex budget to a higher memory and component cost, while Meta raised its full year capex range to 125 to 145 billion plus. Interesting, guys. Domestic chips take the center stage. A notable element of the revised budget is a proportionally larger allocation towards domestic AI chips, a strategic shift aimed at reducing ByteDance's vulnerability to US. You see, guys, we talked about this over here on when we were reading about on this Grok chat. It also mentioned that now they are shifting towards reliance on locally manufactured chips, and the thing is that the overall trend we see is that companies based in US they would ideally prefer to rely on US chip makers, and same goes for the Chinese companies. They are pushing to rely more on like the Chinese chip manufacturers. So this is like the overall theme of the industry, and I think that the geopolitics is gonna affect the supply and demand of these AI chips. Right now, the Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company (TSMC) it makes the bulk of the chips being used in the world. But anyways, um, Elon Musk came up with his own TerraFab uh, facility that is designed to manufacture chips at scale. So we are going to in the US, by the way, and the thing is that we are going to see a shift towards local manufacturing and reliance on the local chip economy, or as we can say the local suppliers manufacturers. What do you think about this, guys? Now I think we need to go to X and see what's happening over here. I'll cover one thing and then we'll see if we can find something interesting. If not, we will just move on. Sam Altman just asked, like, what would you like to see? What would you most like to see improve in our next model? Okay, other than more goblins, I think this reasonably well matches what we are prioritizing. Interesting. So let's see what people have said. Instruction following and writing. Less hallucination, more intellectual pushback. Okay. Front end is obvious. Yeah, OpenAI's ChatGPT Codex is not like very good at front end, but front end. Oh my god, please front end. Put an end to GPT's sycophantic love of fake dashboard charts, weird metrics about data that have zero value and are just noise. Okay. Creative writing, decisiveness. I think models need a much better sense of time. So guys, they are sourcing ideas from the community, from the users. This is pretty interesting, guys. Let's try to find something else. So what is this, guys? This kind of looks interesting. Early look at the image. Let me read that again. Early look at the Imagine Agent mode on Grok app for iOS. Users will be able to use Imagine Agent via mobile optimized UI, native UI to generate images and videos that require more complex workflows. So the Grok Imagine will have agents. SpaceX AI is getting quite ahead of everyone else on this front. We just need Imagine V2 now. Additional skills are coming soon on mobile as well. So this is basically the whole work, like the scheme these days, the agents, skills, and I think it's gonna come to Grok. Imagine we need to well see what's in this video to get a better sense of what we are able to do or might be able to do. So he went on to templates, generating three distinct products and three diverse realistic everyday models. Okay, so he gave him the prompt, and then there's agent as you see over here. doing the work. What exactly is this agent doing? It's sketching out scenes. Okay. Yeah, so seems like it's kind of extrapolating that. Anyways, Grok Imagine is pretty good by the way, guys. For image and also video generation is, I think it's quite good, but others are even better, Cdance, etc. But Grok is also fine. You need to try it out. Then Figure AI is giving AI a body. So they have these humanoid robots. You see, they are able to do the chores like clean the room, the living rooms, washing dishes. So they are able to do the chores. What would be interesting to see in future is them doing the industrial tasks. And one thing is for sure that AI is okay taking jobs away, but for people who think that their job is physical, like plumbers, electricians, and they think that they are not replaceable yet, you need to be aware these humanoids are gonna catch up pretty soon. They will be the electricians, plumbers, and the ones doing risky jobs and possibly doing it better than humans and costing less. So we need to keep an eye out on this. By the way, I would also be interested in knowing your thoughts in the comments, what you think about the humanoid economy. I think all of us will have humanoids in future, just like we have our cars and the vehicles. They will be the ones doing tasks for us, and it's just a matter of time before the cost of manufacturing these humanoids becomes lesser and lesser. And I think the future is quite bright on this front. SpaceX has officially filed a new trademark application for wordmark SpaceX AI. By the way, I posted the other day that someone needs to make a meme coin on this. Anyways, the description says providing satellite based data center services and orbital computing infrastructure, cloud computing, and software as a service featuring AI for data processing, storage, analysis, model training, inference, and AI workload management on satellite constellations and space based platforms. Oh, guys, this is a crazy, insane description of what SpaceX AI will do. Basically, this is like the scope of SpaceX AI and the trademark application. Oh, goodness. The description is quite intensive. XAI is being dissolved as a separate company, so it will be just SpaceX AI, the AI product from SpaceX, and SpaceX AI will have a logo. Okay, so they have filed for a trademark application. Let's see if we find something else. If the biggest problems for data centers is cooling, why aren't we putting them in Antarctica? I think there are already uh, data centers over there, I think, and even with the Bitcoin mining and stuff, the most of the Bitcoin miners they put the infrastructure over in the colder regions of the world. This seems like interesting thought. We will go to our learning partner Grok and ask it to explain it to us. Tell me what's already happening related to this and guide me. Oh no, no, not this, not this. It wasn't supposed to bring that. What I need is for it to explain me this Cooling is the biggest problem. Yeah, go ahead. Cooling is a huge issue for data centers. It can eat up to 30 to 55% of the electricity. But putting them in Antarctica isn't practical for several big reasons. Companies do chase cold climates, just not to the extreme, remote poles. Okay, this makes sense. Data centers generate massive heat from thousands of servers. In hot areas, you need energy hungry chillers, ACs, lot of water for evaporative cooling. In cold places, they use free cooling just to pump in outside air or seawater to keep things at the ideal 18 to 27 degrees Celsius range. What's already happening? The Nordic countries are booming for this. Facebook Meta has a big one in Julia, Sweden, near the Arctic Center. Google uses seawater cooling in Finland at north, and others are building more. Okay, Arctic regions, Russia, Canada are seeing growth for cheap hydro, geothermal power, and natural cold air. Okay, why not full-scale commercial data centers in Antarctica? So, firstly, the main barriers are remoteness and logistic nightmare. No roads, ports, or easy transport. Shipping servers, parts, or fuel is insanely expensive and weather dependent. Blizzards and months of darkness. Maintenance? Good luck getting technicians there quickly. Okay. No power or internet infrastructure. Data centers need gigawatts of reliable electricity and low latency fiber connections. Antarctica has almost none. Running new power lines or cables across the ocean and ice would cost billions and face huge technical hurdles. Legal and environmental restrictions. This is also massive, guys. The Antarctic Treaty protects it as a scientific preserve. Commercial mining, oil, and most industrial activities are banned and heavily restricted. So, guys, it gave us quite some reasons. The engineering challenges are also there. Economics, the saving on cooling would offset the massive extra cost in construction, power, connectivity, and operation. So, in short, it's not feasible to build data centers in Antarctica. The companies can go to like the colder regions, but just not to the extreme poles. Antarctica sounds clever on paper, but it's one of the worst places for a practical data center. Interesting, guys. The industry is instead going to Northern Europe, Iceland, Canada, and similar spots. So, guys, the good thing about learning in public is that we are coming across all of this and researching it, having an informed opinion, and becoming more knowledgeable about AI and everything related to AI. We came across something which already has 320K views on X, and if we didn't go do this research in detail, we would have thought the same that data centers should be put in the Antarctica. But the thing is that this isn't practically feasible as we just looked into it. So, this is something I find really interesting. There's a lot of comments, but, anyways, we have informed ourselves, we have an informed opinion about the matter right now. Here is the best way to imagine a game set in Japan by Rockstar Games. GTA 5 reimagined in Japan by AI. If you guys this is GTA 5, but I think now AI. It would be interesting to see which AI was used. Let's see the comments. So someone tried Germany, Bali, Thailand, Norway, Russia, Australia. So far, Australia and Russia have been the funniest.
Пора валить отсюда. All right, mates. The bank's just ahead.
This seems
We're
Australia.
crossing ahead. I see it. Keep going from that.
By the way, Grok does a very good at imagining this kind of stuff, but I think Cdance is also way better. And guys, right now I'll be ending this live stream and hopefully we'll meet soon, guys. Stay